go to what you teach at the Jamia Millia. So, your interface with students and the younger populace is far stronger. So, I want to ask you whether, given the fact that the digital media is accessed very actively by the youth, do you find that that becoming a huge influencing factor and possibly a worry, because these forms of sources are the only thing that they look at?
That depends upon how interesting the classroom teaching is, in a sense. So if you have interesting teachers, obviously the attention will be towards teaching. At a different note, I want to emphasize what we had mentioned earlier. I tend to use the phrase of false news rather than fake news, because the idea of the fake assumes there is an origin somewhere, of which there is a version which is the fake. If at all that's the case, then I guess copyright lawyers will come into play, because you're talking about something which is different and an infringement of the original layer. So I'll emphasize the idea of the fake news. I think secondly, with youngsters, it's also very clear, like most of us as well, that there are sort of two parts to this. There is a kind of a business around fake news, and then there is the politics around fake news. In that sense, the business of fake news operates in one market, and the politics of fake news then operates in another market. So perhaps what is interesting is to try and get into the incentives inside each of these two markets. So what are the kind of business interests, or perhaps business compulsions, which are driving sort of false news as a business model, so to say? And similarly, what are the kind of incentives, pushes and compulsions which are driving false news in terms of the political market? Perhaps getting to know these incentives or drivers, which I think right now pretty open and opaque right now, would sort of give us some more indication in terms of where to go about. I think lastly, I want to also just try and perhaps preempt this issue of regulation, which might come up in a sense, because it also comes up in terms of both in the classroom and outside there. And I think for me this is quite interesting. It brings up a very interesting regulatory problem here, which is that it's a definitional problem, which is that when you're in print outlets, there's a very clear kind of framework for those who are in the business of printing news, go through a process of registration. In television, those who are in the business of broadcasting news go through the process of licensing. Okay. Those who are in the business of producing and dissemination news online are, in a sense, bereft of any of this regulatory framework. Okay, so there's a big regulatory gap there.
Do you recommend some kind of regulation?
I would first recommend all of us recognize there is a gap there. The way in which I would also recommend that everybody recognizes that this is false news and not fake news. So for me, I would actually start with some of the most important building blocks to understand what is the phenomenon we are studying. Otherwise, in a sense, we'll try and put in the cow before the cart.
Yeah, I think Subodh has raised a very important point, because this is one point I've always thought about. When a friend of mine, asked me, frantically gave me a call, and he said, I plan to start a news website. What are the licenses that you require for that? And I was left wondering, do you actually need a license to start a news website? But this is a very important point. The reason why you have probably pages on Facebook which are actively involved in communalizing, one community against the other by picking up stories and putting out fake stuff, is because they have an active business model. And this is a conversation that I've been having with Google and Facebook for the longest time now. And I've been telling them that you can't ignore the fact that your platform is being used. And they do recognize it, because they say that they are trying to actively come up with a model where they're able to kill at least 80 to 85% of the distribution that happens. The moment you kill distribution, like for example, postcard news. I don't know how many of you read postcard news here. One of your stories, which was blatantly false, and most of us called it out, had 25,000 shares. I don't know whether Indian Express probably gets 25,000 shares of one single story. Now, where are these shares coming from? This is exactly what probably platforms like Facebook and Google need to introspect and wonder, how they can actually bring down the distribution. Not actively, I don't mean to say that they should play an editor's role, because they do want to project saying that they're not publishers because of their own regulatory issues.
Agency,
But
you're hitting a fairly